Welcome back. We are in module 26 and we are in part 3 learning the theoretical aspects of API. So you can find this is MB-820. You are learning MB-820 with me. So let us directly go to the topic and then we can understand, we will discuss about the further thing. So API and OData. So functionality in API and OData, which means that both supports reading, creating, updating data in the running procedures. So procedure for executing through OData, how you can execute the procedure, like what is a procedure? So to run a procedure, you have to add the attribute like service enabled using a service action context and web service action result code. You will be using a prefix, that is we are using that prefix, right? API dot company something. So in OData, you will be using a nav prefix, okay, nav dot prefix, whereas in API URL, that is for posting, you will be using Microsoft dot nav. Okay, this is the prefix when used to send the post request. So this is bound actions. Okay, I'm talking about the bound action. I'll also tell you the scenario. But in unbound actions are available only for the OData web services and not for API. Unbound actions is only available for OData and not for API. Okay, so you can create a code unit not linked to any specific entity, hence termed to be unbound. Okay, you are creating a code unit and you are not specifying any entity. Okay, you'll be publishing the procedure with a code unit which can be published as a unbound actions without needing a service enabled attribute. You don't want any service enabled attribute. You can just publish that with a URL. Okay, so what is the difference between this bound and unbound? So bound actions are linked to a specific entity or entities and are often used to perform operations related to those entities. They require a context like a specific customer or a company to operate, whereas unbound actions in contrast do not operate within the context of a specific entity. They are more generic and can be executed without needing to specify an entity context. They are suitable for operations that apply broadly, not tied to specific data records. So this distinctions allows developer to choose the most appropriate type of action based on the operations, context and requirement. Let us understand this with a simple scenario, like why you have to go with the bounding and why you have to go with unbound. Okay, so let us understand where you have to use bound action. The situation is like a financial application allows user to manage their investment portfolio, including buying or selling stocks. Each portfolio is unique to a user and contains various stocks. So what is the scenario? Is user decides to sell a portion of their stocks in a particular company. This operation is specific to the user's portfolio and the stock entity within that portfolio. So of course we have to go with the bound action. So the action of selling stocks is specific to the portfolio entity. A bound action is necessary because it operates directly on an entity called a portfolio within the database. By binding the action to a specific entities, the service ensures that operations are performed only within the context of authorized entities, enhancing security and maintaining data integrity. So bound actions allows for a direct manipulation of entities, reducing the need of additional logic to determine the context of the operation. This can streamline operational like CRUD actions directly on the targeted entities, making the API or service more efficient and user friendly. So, what about the unbound action? Let us take the situation. The same financial application includes a feature for administrators to broadcast notification to all users about important market updates or maintenance window. So here's the scenario, like an administrator needs to send a system wide notification about an upcoming system maintenance window. This operation does not target a specific user's portfolio or any other entity, but applies across the entity application. So here, of course, you have to use unbound action. So why should I use unbound action? Unbound actions are not tied to a specific entities, as I told earlier, making them suitable for operations that have a global effect or administrative in nature. Implementing an unbound action for system wide notification simplifies the process, as there is no need to iterate over or reference specific entities. This approach provides flexibility in performing operations that affect the application as a whole or a large subset of users' entity. Unbound actions allow for a separation of concerns, decoupling certain operations from the entities they might affect. This can lead to cleaner, more modular code where system wide functionalities are not tightly bound to a specific entities or data models. So, bound actions are chosen for their direct relationship with the specific entities, making them ideal for context specific operations where actions are performed on or within the context of those entities. So, they enhance efficiency, security, and integrity for entity specific operations. Whereas unbound actions are performed for their flexibility and application wide scope, useful for administrative tasks, global operations, or functionalities that do not target specific entities. They offer simplicity and decoupling advantages, facilitating cleaner and more modular application architectures. I hope you understand the logic of bound and unbound. Where should you use bounding and where you should use unbound? So, many things I have discussed in my playlist. So this is my channel Goms Tech Talks. If you haven't subscribed it, please go and subscribe now. And here you can find this is for both functional as well as the technical consultant. If you have any queries or if you wanted to guide you for your career or interview preparation tips or whatever, you can just schedule a call with me. I'll be there to help you out. And this is my ebook store. If you wanted to buy a ebook, you can check it out from here. So the links for all these things is available in the description, so please go and watch that. I'll meet you soon with the next module. Uh, so stay tuned, take care, bye bye.